Hello, Ryan here. Okay, so I just wanted to do a little 2 or 3 minute long video about something that's been on my mind for the last couple days. Stuff to do with the lack of people showing up at protests lately in Canada and the heap of Vancouverites that have showed up for the George Floyd murder protest. I've got a bit of an issue with that. As much as I 100% support the protest on Sunday about George Floyd's death, 100%. It's a great cause, great thing to protest about. No issue with that at all. What I've got an issue with is that 3,500 people, Vancouverites, are willing to protest something that happened in the US that has really nothing really to do with anything that's going on in Canada right now. Sure, you have some incidents of police brutality in Canada and BC. One just happened with some skateboarders last week, I believe. Yeah, of course, sure. It's a very legit cause. But yet you have 3,500 Vancouverites coming down to Vancouver protesting something that happened in Minneapolis, and yet we've had like 3 months of an absolute abuse of power in every provincial government across Canada, federal level, and barely anybody wants to protest about that. This is a case of, again, the media telling you guys what you should care about. They're saying you should care about what happened in America. You should be angry about it. And of course, people are angry about it. They're being distracted from what's being happened all across Canada. Where's the protest about the 5G towers going up all across Canada? You know what 5G does? 60 gigahertz or whatever. That's like 60,000 hertz, 60,000 whatever units of whatever. How they affect your cells, how they affect the hemoglobin in your blood. You guys don't care about that stuff going up. You don't care about the contact tracing that they want to implement all across Canada in every province. You're not protesting about the contact information that restaurants and salons want you to leave so they can provide a total unrelated service to why they want your information. You don't care about that at all either. You're not protesting about schools making lines on hallway floors, social distancing with kids, can't do recess together. You're not protesting about that at all. You're not protesting about all the other deaths that don't seem to matter that have happened with this lockdown, suicide deaths. You're not protesting about that stuff either. Not protesting about the businesses that are going tits up across the province. Gabby's in Langley, a 34-year-old establishment in Langley that just folded because of the restrictions being put on them. They can't do their business. You guys aren't protesting about that because the media didn't tell you to be upset about it. And I've got a real problem with this. The media is telling people to be mad about this police brutality thing. And people are totally complicit in it. They're being totally brainwashed by the media, to allowing them to have an opinion and being upset only about this issue, when all this stuff for the last 12 weeks with our government's corruption, the control that they've put on us, our liberties being taken away, our freedoms being stomped on. Nobody seems to care about that. And then we've had a decrease in the amount of people showing up to protests. 100 in Kelowna, and Toronto's had several hundred. Okay, good, very good. We just had a decrease in people show up in Surrey. Nobody showed up in Abbotsford. We've had Ottawa only had 15 people. Victoria, I didn't even hear about. Halifax, their numbers went down to 10 or 15. Where are people showing up across Canada protesting about what their government's doing? I've got a big problem with this lately, and I'm pretty upset. This is what it's about right here. We should be protesting about what's happening here in this country with this. We should be protesting about why people are doing this with their flag. Shouldn't that make you upset too? That this is a nation in distress, and people are so upset. Shouldn't that make you come out and protest and make your voice heard? But no, something that happened in America is more important. I think that's pretty appalling to me. Very valid issue, but 3,500 people are willing to come out to Vancouver to protest an American issue, an American incident, and yet only a few hundred people across BC protested all weekend to the corruption in their government. I am pretty upset about that, and I think you should be too. Get your asses out to an event this weekend and protest.